What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Mohammed Umar for coming through and boosting up the coins and getting that heat and licked off. You best believe it. We 30 degrees right here. We got the t-shirt weather. You best believe it, folks. No doubt about it. Big love, brother. Now let's cut to it. Catching a quick serious bar for you, man. That's what we're fixing to do. Alexander Usyk is back in the gym, folks. In fact, this video is a week late. Alexander Usyk was back in the gym on the 22nd of December. He fought on the 21st, and he's back in the gym on the 22nd. What is this moody TikTok thing, man? Well, you moody dog. Go on then, that's the dog, innit? Come on. What's with all this verify? What do you think I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? What do you think I'm doing on here? Anyway, here's the leak. This is obviously Alexander's official 1 million followers, official TikTok, verified. No doubt about it, folks. You see here, Usyk posted this video, mood after win. It's got the 2-2 jig. That there is Callum Sauerland in the back as well. Callum Snifferland, you best believe it. You need a cat like Callum around. Yeah, he makes sure you got the bits. And Usyk, he need them bits, you best believe it. Let's go. Look at the legs, man. Do you know how exhausting it is to do 12 rounds? He weren't even exhausted. I've got a video coming soon. Usyk said he thought the first fight was harder. I guess probably because he did get half rocked in that first fight. The second fight, Fury really didn't do nothing in there. I thought the second fight was more competitive, but this is what I tell you, man. How they score fights is erroneous. Yeah? There's a reason Usyk thinks the first fight was harder, when in reality, we all have him winning by a bigger distance. There needs to be something built in there, yeah? When you get rocked, it's not just enough to say, oh, well, yeah? It's like someone asked me about Wilder and Fury 1. Wilder and Fury 1, Wilder clearly won that fight. Why? Fury didn't do nothing, man. He was spark on the deck. Again, who would you rather be after Fury Wilder 1? If you're not trying to suck Fury off, I want to be Wilder. I want to be the guy who almost knocked your spark out and you couldn't do nothing back, really. Yeah, he had a good round 11 or 12, whenever it was. He got off the mat and did well, but he didn't put him down. He didn't have him on the floor. Oh. So stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. Effective damage needs to be rated higher. Same as Johnny Fisher. Johnny washed, bash. And Dave Allen. Come on, watch that fight back. Round 4, yeah. Round 4. Everyone's sucking it off. Oh, he won rounds 1 to 4. He was goosed in round 4. He was finished in round 4. Round 4 was a draw. Oops. And the rest of it, the only man who looked dangerous in there was only one man on stilts. So when everyone's sitting there saying, oh, Johnny Fisher won the first 4 rounds. Dave was just in front of him. Not bothered at all. Yeah, the fact someone was in there, slapping away, ain't doing nothing. You have to kind of take that into account, especially if the other person has a strong back half. All rounds aren't made the same. If someone's in there, huffing and puffing for 4 rounds, and they blow their load and do nothing for the next 6, completely goosed, there needs to be a system brought in that accounts for that. Do you understand? Because Dave Allen, whilst he lost the first 3 or 4 rounds, he was in control, if that makes sense. Johnny was not in control for the last... Let's say they both won 5 rounds each, and it should have been a draw. Let's call it that. The point is, the rounds Dave Allen lost, they were like, whatever. He looked like he was having a spar, right? The rounds Dave Allen lost wasn't like the rounds Johnny Fisher lost. When Johnny Fisher lost a round, he was clinging on for dear life, man, Johnny Fisher. I watched it back, the whole thing. He was clinging on. His legs were like stilts, big, stiff, muscly stilts. He was goosed in there. So the round system's fugazi. It's no good. No good. If you're in there poised, yeah, having a look, and you're just walking forward and some big stiff dude like Johnny Bash, he's whacking away, not doing nothing. Oh, really? You want to say that fight was a draw? All right then. Or you want to say he won that fight? What? Because he slapped away and didn't cause no damage. Didn't have Dave bent out of shape no how. You can't win a fight yeah, when you have never had the guy bent out of shape, but you're all and clinging on for dear life. That's why Fury lost the second one as well. He was clinging on down there back straight. He was clinging on. Goosed out of ideas. No cardio having ass. Too bulbous. Yeah? Big bulbous bird looking ass. Yeah, get Big Shirley out of here. Yeah? Get that Big Shirley looking ass from Weight Watchers out of here, man. I ain't trying to see no more from that guy. Anyway, you see Usyk here cutting a jig on December 22nd. Yeah? You see Usyk cutting 2-2 jig with Kalasniffelin, the Ukrainian Kalasniffelin in the back. Look at this one here. Look at this guy. He's got legs for days. Even after the fade, 12 rounds of fade at 39 years old, he's got legs for days, loads of legs left. Fury couldn't do this in shape. He'd be goosed. His feet were stiff as a board. People, who had stiffer feet? Nah, to be fair, Johnny Fish's feet were stiff. His legs was well stiff. His legs was bowed out, they were so stiff. And I ain't gonna lie, I watched it back, yeah. Johnny Fisher's legs was stiff in the fourth round. He was finished, he's no good. I'm sorry, he's a massive hype job. Probably one of the bigger ones to come out, if I'm honest with you. A massive hype job, no good. People would say, oh, you're gonna fill a Talma in, alright then. He'd do nothing with a Talma, you're gonna do too slow. He can't punch either, he can't punch. Dave Allen's solid, yeah, but Johnny Fisher can't punch. How about that? He can't punch. If he could punch it, then first 3-4 rounds, he would have got at least a reaction from Dave, right? He would have got at least he didn't get no reaction. Dave was right in front of him. He was throwing, it's not like he wasn't throwing his hands either. He was putting 2s, 3s and 4s together, couldn't do nothing. He can't punch for toffee. I'm sorry. He can't punch for toffee like that at the top of the game. What's he going to do? Put him in there, Bakole. What's he going to do? He can't even punch up Dave Allen. Dave Allen was there all day and night for it, man. And Dave Allen's solid, but come on. Stop playing with me. Anyway, the point of this video, Alexander Usyk. Like I said, you can see the date here, December 22nd. A day later, is posting his mood after the win. And I love Usyk, and honestly, I mean, I think Danny D will do him. Too big, too strong, too young. I think Bakole would do him. But I'll say this now, yeah. If Usyk beats Dubois anyhow, or beats Bakole, them two, I'm not interested. Zhang's got no gas. He'll be goosed after. Zhang, people, if Zhang can't deal with Parker, Usyk can box his head off, right? Usyk's got a better chin, he's quicker, he's a much high-level boxer. So, Zhang will get done like worse than Parker did him, more or less. So forget about Zhang. Zhang's got no gas after 4 or 5 rounds. And Zhang really made a meal of it with Wilder. He didn't put it on Wilder. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't impressed with that Wilder win. He got the W, but it wasn't impressive. He didn't break Wilder down, for example. So forget about Zhang. The two dudes right now, I've got some cats saying, oh, no one wants to see Dubois versus Usyk or Bakole. I think it was Dom Schilgel. Listen, Dom Schilgel. Oh, no one wants to see Usyk versus Bakole. We'd rather see Usyk and AJ again, or Usyk and Fury again. What planet are you on, Dom? Yeah, I don't want to see no big, stiff, useless Brits in there anywhere near him again. Because you're good for nothing. You're big for nothing, man. Yeah, oh, well, the fans, I don't give a what the moody football fans want to watch. I want to see, if Usyk's not going to retire or go back to cruiserweight, I want to see him in there, yeah, with Martin Imad Bakole or Daniel the Prophet Triple D. That's it now. And Usyk a lot of man saying, you can get Daniel Dubois now at 3-1. And you best believe I'm taking that all day and night. I get it, why is the underdog, but 3-1, if I had to put money, I don't know who's putting money on Usyk at 3-1 favour. I don't know who would, you put a tenner on Usyk, you get about £2 back profit. Like, who's going to take that against Danny D? Too big, too strong. Too big, too strong. I think the fight's 50-50, if that makes sense. So when I see a 3-1, bash, I'm all over that. I think Bakole's probably, he hasn't proven himself, though, to be fair. We need to see a Bakole in there with Hrgovic, for example. He's fighting a Jagba, so that will do. There are some questions with Bakole, to be fair. Bakole made a melee of it with Yoka. Yeah, he looked good against Anderson, but if Yoka could half box with Bakole didn't knock Yoka out. Yoka was there to be knocked out as well. Tony Yoka was begging to be KO'd, and Bakole couldn't finish his dinner. So there are questions with Bakole. Whereas Dubois, he stormed through Hrgovic. Whatever you say, I think, whether you say that it wasn't a real stoppage because it was a cut, you didn't see Hrgovic complaining, man. He didn't want no more. I had Hrgovic winning the first 5, maybe even 6 rounds. But Hergovic knew where that was going. He was he was goosed in there. He had nothing left. He was happy the ref saved his ass. So Dubois stopped Hergovic, popped his cherry for him. He blew AJ's back out. So on paper, I like Bakole. He's kind of like, I mean, the way he's style. But he's still, we need to see him in there now. A Hergovic would be a good idea, to be honest. A Jagba is too stiff, man. A Jagba got boxed up by Frank Sanchez. Yeah? A Jagba got boxed up by Frank, I'm soft to the body, Sanchez. I'm not interested. I don't know why they're making that fight for. I don't rate a Jagba at all. He's too stiff as well. He's too stiff. But still, I'll tell you now for free. If Bakole don't proper fill a Jagba in, if Bakole half makes it boxy, like the Yoka fight, then he's overrated. I've got to be honest with you. Because Danny D will cut straight through a Jagba. Like, a Jagba's a knock-off AJ, right? He'd cut straight through him. So Bakole now needs to stop talking on Twitter, yeah, and finish your dinner. Because you didn't finish your dinner with Yoka. Oops. Right? You didn't finish your dinner. All due respect. Carlos Takam, 50-year-old Carlos Takam, outboxed Yoka and won on points. You were your big ass. You should have filled him in. And you're pretty looking, light skin looking ass, Tony Yoka. He's no good. He didn't want to be there. You could tell he's shot as well. I don't know how he shot, but he shot. Tony Yoka looked shot. And you couldn't finish your dinner. So there are still questions with Bakole. I'm not getting carried away with a Gerald Anderson fight. That could have been Bakole's best fight and Anderson's worst fight. We don't know yet. But if you look at Bakole's resume, it's not actually up there. That said, assuming the hype's correct, I like Bakole and Dubois. But at this point, who's most proven? It's Dubois. So Dubois should really get this done against Usyk. Some people are saying, Hatman saying, oh, well, I don't want to see Usyk get steamrolled and then it will kind of kill his whole thing. Listen, man, he's 38. He's not 48. He's 38 for a healthy athlete who hasn't taken that much damage in his career. Lennox Lewis 20 years ago, before science moved on, Lennox Lewis wasn't even the most regimented, and he made it to 38. Usyk's actually on it, regimented, doing it all right. So 38 is not 48. He's not even 40 yet. I'll give him 2 years, and that's all he needs. You don't even need 2 years, to be honest. He's got 2 fights, potentially. Dubois, and then Bakole, if he proves himself. I'll tell you for 3 people. If Bakole don't stop a Jagba, I'm not interested. Forget about him at that point. Seriously. That's where I'm at with Bakole right now. Because he talks too much. Oh, I knocked this guy out. You couldn't knock Yoka out, though. You knocked all these guys out in sparring, but you couldn't knock Yoka out. How can you finish your dinner with Yoka, washed up Yoka, man? It's ridiculous. So I want to see him stop Jagba. He needs to stop him. If he don't, forget about him. He got boxed up by Hunter. He got boxed up. He went life and death with Yoka, essentially. So he needs to start finishing dinner. That's what he needs to focus on now. Stop talking on Instagram and finish your dinner to make it convincing. You should really blow a Jagba. I'm going to see if a Jagba's been stopped before. You should proper do him some serious arm. Martin Bakole box rec. Oh, that's the wrong one there. I'm sorry I've gone on a rant about Bakole, but that's who I'm leaning towards. They're the only interesting one. What's going on here? It's Dubois and Bakole at this point, but Bakole's got a question mark around him. Dubois the one in form, getting better each time, hungry. I know Dubois will go in there. He might end up, to be fair, there's a chance. Dubois goes in there, he feels the straight left, and he's like, oh, I don't fancy it. But to be fair to Dubois, though, he took the same right hand off Hergovic. There's no way Hergovic punches less than Usyk. So he came straight in with that. I think it's a mental thing for him. So if Hergovic couldn't turn him off with his success, I'll be very surprised if Usyk has more success. That was like, whoa, right? The way Hergovic lit him up in them first 5 rounds, that was like, oh, I've never seen someone get lit up so much. So if you can walk through that, a 250-pound Croatian Donny who's got it all to prove, hungry, Usyk, a cruiserweight, he's going to walk through him like Chisora did. And Chisora's slow, old, not a whole bunch of power, not a whole bunch of cardio. Anyway, let's have a look here. He boxed Takam, finished him in 4 rounds. Good. Here we go. Here's the Yoka. So he was 275 pounds against Yoka, so he'd gone up in weight. Even here, Kuzmin. Now, there is an argument I've made myself. Bakole was weird. He was 250 for a long time. 250, 260. Then he jumped up to 280. And he's looked better since then. That said, he was 275. So he'd made that weight jump. And he couldn't finish his dinner with Yoka. And Yoka was getting hit a lot. So there are still questions with Bakole on that basis. Yeah. And because Yoka had nothing to offer. Yoka was slapping, he had no pop in his shots, he was finished. And Bakole couldn't have a go on him. So there's big questions for Bakole from my point of view. The Jagba fight's being talked about. I'd rather seen him in there with Hrgovic, for what it's worth. F.A. Jagba, who's that man? I'd rather see him in there. At least I know Hrgovic. We know what we're doing with Hrgovic, yeah? If Bakole couldn't get rid of Hrgovic, then we know he's worse than Danny D, and therefore I wouldn't even need Usyk to fight him, Bakole, which is possible. Here's a Jagba. He's lost once to Frank Frank Sanchez can't punch, man. And a Jagba got put down by him. So I'm telling you now, people, if you don't wash this guy, Bakole, stop talking, man, on the internet, because I don't believe you. Yeah, but that'll be 2 flops. If you don't completely fill chinning a Jagba in, Frank Sanchez can't punch. He's like the heavyweight Arislandi Lara. Can't punch for toffee, man. He can't punch for toffee. Come on now. He can't punch for toffee. Anyway, this video wasn't supposed to be about that, but here we are. Usyk. He's training already. Yeah? And the purpose of this video is to kind of salute him. Salute his dedication and discipline. AJ said this as well. He said, listen, bash. After he punched me up, I saw him in the hotel. He was swimming the next day. This guy is and really he deserved it, to be honest. Yeah? If Usyk deals with Dubois, then I think you have to, there's really a serious argument for the greatest of all time. I really do have to say that at that point. If Dubois coming in having a go like Chisora did, and Usyk's just too good, I would then say, you know what, you've beat an old school type dude in Dubois. And I'll give him credit, finally. At this point in time, though, all he's done is beat a bunch of stiffs. Big heavyweight stiffs. Big for nothing oafs. Big for nothing British bare bums in the shower. AJ, what's he done? When was the last time AJ stuck its spark on someone? What? 2017? Come on, people. When was it like? He didn't even stick it on Pulev like that. Old Lev, 50-year-old. He made a meal of that fight. He made a meal of the Pulev fight. So that told you where he's at. He's finished. He's been finished for the best part of a decade. And Fury, he went life and death with Mbongo. And this ain't me trying to take away from Usyk, but that is the facts. Whereas Dubois now, he's blowing people's back out. Who here thinks Hrgovic would get stopped by Usyk? No. Who here thinks AJ would get stopped by Usyk? No. Who here thinks Miller would get stopped by Usyk? No. He wouldn't stop none of them. They'd all go 12-round point stinkers. Right? That's what happened. We've seen it already to one of them. We've seen AJ twice and Fury twice. They'd be stinkers. No knockdowns and points. Not Usyk's fault. He's not supposed to be knocking guys out. But Danny D will bring a level of ferocity. And I don't want to hear people backtracking. Oh, maybe it's because he's old. No. He's not old. He's not old. Danny D will make him look old, but he'll actually be old. He'll be the best he's ever been. But Danny D will be too big, too strong, too much inside fightingness. He's getting his chin down, he's coming in narrow like this, and he's walking straight in. That's what he's doing. He's walking straight in. That's what he's doing. Walking in straight lines, straight in there, pop. Yeah, F all that footwork. I don't want to see Danny D jump on his toes with your big ass. Jump on your toes for what, man? Set them feet, plod in. Yeah, plod in and get your hands going. Simple as that. No skipping around. Chin down, elbows in, and plod like Canelo. Just get on him. And let him wear himself out for a few rounds. Put the foot pressure on him. Suck in here like Tank Davis and Canelo does. Suck in here. Let Usyk get tired. Slap in your gloves. And bash. Stick it all over him. But listen, if Usyk does pull it off, if he beats Danny D, I'll say, listen, he's the greatest of all time. Realistically. Because I don't see if this new form Danny D can't deal with Usyk, I don't know how Holyfield would, to be honest. Holyfield's a bit different, but still. Dubois is even bigger. He's even bigger, even stronger. Punch for punch, Dubois hits a lot harder than Holyfield. So you can't even start saying, oh, could Lennox have stunk the pants off Usyk? Maybe, but I don't even forget Lennox. What's Lennox going to do? Jab him and grab him? I'm not interested in Lennox, man. What would he do with Usyk? Stink the place out. It's what he'd probably do. He'd be big and he'd jab and he'd just suck his arms in. But at that point, you'd have to seriously say, I'm not sure who would beat him. If big old Danny D having a go can't get it done, and who's going to beat who in the old school would beat him? If that mate, who? Who would you be saying is going to do something? I struggle. Not to mention, we've heard the stories that Usyk punched up Klitschko, and there's enough narrative there. And he's 38. If a 38-year-old punches up a 28-year-old in red-hot form, I struggle to see. How he's not in the all-time great discussion. Undefeated, never beaten. And it's not like a Floyd Mayweather undefeated, never beaten, where he fights a bunch of bums and old washed-up dudes. Usyk's the old washed-up dude, essentially, in terms of age. He's always the oldest. Yeah? Floyd was fighting Mosley at 38, which back in them days, the early 2000s, is like 44 these days, right? 38 in the early 2000s is like being 44 now. He was well old at 38. Who else he fight? Floyd. Mosley was old. Zab was old. He fought all the old golden oldies. Usyk's in there, going in there with younger people. Yeah? And he can't punch. But same as Floyd. He's winning on points. And really, Floyd was fighting people more or less his own size. Usyk going in there with giants. It'd be like Floyd clearing out 160 or 168 even. That's what the equivalent would have been. Usyk, if Usyk had stayed at cruiserweight, that's what Floyd did. Floyd got to his comfortable weight. And there's a reason Usyk's talking about going down again. Because it's sweet. He's not really a heavyweight. Usyk said, I don't really like heavyweight. I have to eat. I have to think about eating. He doesn't want to eat. He's not a dirty bulker like Tyson Fury. Yeah? He's not big. He's not a big... Listen, Usyk isn't a big Shirley from Weight Watchers. That's what he's not. He's a proper serious athlete and he's training a day after his fight. And this is something a lot of these new age men can't compete with. Damn sure not Tyson Fury. What's he doing? Yeah? What's he doing? On the lash, no doubt. That's what Tyson Fury is doing. On the lash now. Oh, I'm drinking myself silly. So Fury was never serious like that. You know, Fury, man, you watch a few Netflix documentaries. Oh, IB. But you haven't seen him on Netflix acting a clown. Well done. That don't win your fights, people. This wins your fights. Extreme, it's not even dedication. Dedication is something you do because you have to do. Or commitment kind of thing. I'm doing it because I have to do it. Usyk does it because he loves it. Mike Tyson said a quote once, there's nothing more dangerous than a man who's young and loves what he's doing. Now, Usyk isn't young, but he loves what he's doing. To have a 12-round fight and be back in the gym, putting your gloves on, he loves it, he lived for it. It's a different level. He's not like these new age guys like Tank. Oh, I'm going to retire at 28 or however old he is. I'm retiring at 32 because I'm just getting money out of the game. Tank fighting pure bums, right? Tank is the bum slayer, the bottom of bum slayer for sure. He's worse than Floyd, to be honest, seriously. The only guy worse than Floyd is Tank Davis, the bum slayer. Seriously, a complete bum slayer. That's what he does. This guy Usyk, he lived for it. He loved it. And I do salute that. And whilst I'd like to see Daniel Dubois bring us back to reality, I'm more than happy for Usyk to fill Dubois in again. To box his head off. I really am. I'm more than happy to give him his flowers. He obviously gets some flowers anyway, but them AJ and Fury, they're useless. Seriously. No one's had a go. Is it the case you can't have a go? People say, well, IB, Floyd couldn't punch, but no one had a go on him. De La Hoya, washed up De La Hoya had a go on him. Slapped him half to death. That's what happened in that fight. Floyd was like, didn't know what to do. So it's a mindset thing. De La Hoya came into that fight red hot for Floyd, and it showed. He's walking straight on him. That's what made that fight close. Whether you think Floyd won or De La Hoya won, it was close for a reason. Because he had the nuts to get in there and have a go and put his hands on him. And I'd argue Floyd's actually more slick. Floyd's more pulling back and got more cat-like reactions than Usyk does. De La Hoya stuck it straight on him. Yeah? And all these other guys, like Canella, for example, who's got no balls. Floyd made Canella look silly. Why? Because he was happy to sit there and shit his pants. That's what Canelo did against Floyd. Rather than getting in, De La Hoya did, and have a good go, just walk in and get popped on the way in and have another go, he sat back and got his head boxed off. And that's the problem. Canelo is like Fury and AJ. They'd rather get their head boxed off on the outside than risk getting KO'd. These guys, Usyk ain't KO'ing no one, man. Like Floyd ain't KO'ing no one. These cats would rather get boxed up on the outside and have a good old go and maybe get clipped. Oh, I tried. You couldn't clip. Chizora's been clipped. Chisora was right on him. Right? Chisora was right on him. So if he could clip anyone, he'd have clipped washed up Chisora, surely. He didn't clip washed up Chisora. Not even put him down. Joe Parker can't punch. He put him down 4 times. Chisora. After that, I think it was. So, it's there now. Yeah? You have to decide who you want to be. Do you want to have a good go, like De La Hoya versus Floyd, or do you want to be Canelo and sit there whining and frustrated because he won't stand there with you? You make him stand there. It's a ring. It's not a football field. Get on him. Pop, pop. Yeah, get on him. You don't see. Look at Beterbiev, for example. That's the difference. Beterbiev, you don't see no one able to really run and Floyd their way out of it. Bivol tried, but you saw how that fight was going. Bivol did his best to do the Floyd, and how that worked for him, he was goosed. Yeah, you pressure that dude. You get on him. Don't give him a whole bunch. Canelo gave Floyd way too much time to breathe. AJ gave Usyk way too much time to breathe. Fury gave Usyk way too much time to breathe. If you're letting them stand there and fight at their pace, then they're going to do that all day and night. De La Hoya got straight on Floyd. Yeah, straight on him. Canelo sat there, got his head boxed off and looked like he was about to cry. Beterbiev got straight on Bivol. Straight on him. Not as ferociously as De La Hoya, to be fair, but I think Beterbiev could have actually been more ferocious, to tell the truth. Beterbiev's never been like an out-and-out. He's not going to sit there swinging around. He's constructive. But I do think in the rematch, Beterbiev needs to up that. And his team was saying that he need to take some penitentiary chances now. Anyway, listen. The guy's a consummate professional, and I like seeing this. This is how you should be feeling. Yeah, you should be feeling like you want to be back in the gym. In this new age, there's too many prima donnas, Instagram shills who train for the Instagram. They ain't really training because it's in their heart and in their soul. And this also enables you to... Look. What's this here? Forget about Monday starting out. Okay, he's pushing some moody training thing. Cognitive brain work. This was 5 days ago. This looks like probably okay, that's a media video, so it's not showing he's actually in the gym. Either way, the fact is, people, he's back into the gym on the next day. So salute to Usyk. It's win-win for me. He either gets smoked by Dubois, and on that Hatman bar, the Hatman said, "Oh, I don't want to see him get clipped." There's some honour in that. Yeah, I'm happy either way. If Usyk does a job on Dubois, good for him. Really happy for him. But there's honour in that. There's honour in dying by the sword if it's your time. If that makes sense. Running off because you're old, it almost takes away from the next generation. It's like passing on the mantle. Ali did it with Liston, to name one. Yeah, it's it's a cycle of life. It keeps the sport. When you're like Floyd and you run off and you fight pure bums or old washed up people, yes, it may add to your personal accolade, but the sport benefits. Not that I'm saying Usyk should go in there and jump on the floor. If Usyk's good enough to beat Dubois, then beat him. And I think Usyk's already said he's going to fight him. But I don't believe this narrative, Usyk should retire now. I don't think so. If he thinks he's still got it, he should roll the dice. I don't see why not. I really don't. I'm not seeing... Has Usyk got slower? Has he not got slower? Looks about the same to me. And styles make fights. Usyk may have looked a little bit slower against Fury, who's a different situation. A big old, useless, stiff-legged oaf. Anyway, salute to Usyk. Let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.